The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning from TFNN. Welcome to the April 27th Magical Monday edition of today's opening bell on the Trader's Edge. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that we should each be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope each and every one of you had a wonderful weekend. I know I did. Great to be back with you. Let's make sure that you and I do everything we can to have a magical Monday, an extraordinary week. Of course, the easiest way to do that is to always remember, folks, that life happens for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I, we make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to throw at us. We're going to go check out the circumstances in the markets. Right now, we've got the Dow futures. They're up 71 points. S&P futures, they're up 6. NASDAQ futures up 19. Russell 2000 up a couple of points. But I want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here today. No, I'm here to serve you. That means that if you'd like, feel free to call it in at 877-927-6648. Internationally, 727-445-1044. Give me a call. We can take a look at the trade. Maybe you're on the opposite side of my read on the markets. Maybe your eyes are seeing something that mine aren't. And you could share that with everybody out there. Or just we can go searching for some type of equity or some type of commodity or some type of currency that you're interested in getting into, or something I haven't covered. Or maybe I said something and meant something else. Who knows? Maybe I've confused you. Confusion is a good thing because it always means we're about to learn something else. So, folks, this is Magnificent Monday. Of course, it's none other than the Hotel California. Of course, that's opened up each morning by our man John Logan at 8 a.m. And this is I'll get it out of my mouth. This is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now we've got gold. She's up about $10 with King Dollar. U.S. dollar index being up 236 ticks. She's up trading out at 97.33. Light sweet crude, that's up 21 cents. Silver's up 21 pennies. If we take a quick peek across the globe, let's do that. Let's start off our day by seeing what's going on around the world. Let's go take a look at patterns out there, resistance levels. Let's start in Asia. Let's start over looking at the Shanghai. The Shanghai closed up 140 points, 3% last night. Big moves. Now, as you know, we've been watching the Shanghai here. Here's the daily chart. We'll put this on a weekly chart. And what you see is a couple of different lines on my screen out here. Now, the one line, it's a white line, which is priced at 46.42 basically, was your 0.618 retracement of a larger move. So let's go take a look at that larger move, because then the blue line will show up on my screen as well. Let's put
The stars are looking down on you and me. Sweet breeze of the wind, your smile, all your worries are behind. You don't need them anymore. We will enjoy the night and life. So beautiful to be here, so beautiful. By the summer night and music of the sea. So beautiful to be here, so beautiful. When your friends are around, the taste of life is real. Time is running fast. Can we bring it back? Please tell me if it's real or not. The music of this moment will always live inside of my heart and soul. So beautiful to be here, so beautiful. By the summer night and music of the sea. So beautiful to be here, so beautiful. When your friends are around, the taste of life is real. So beautiful. So beautiful.
Okay. Okay, guys. I'm trying to get in Den right now. It's good to be back. I know Steve Rhodes is having a couple little issues, and what I'm going to do is replace Steve Rhodes for a little while, obviously. And I'm trying to get my charts up right now. We're going to be totally okay in about 5 seconds here. And as we wait for the charts to come up, We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on with the markets here before they open and some of the stocks that are driving these markets. Let me get our Michael. Hey, do you know why this is stuck like this? We're good. Sorry about that. Just trying to get on. Come on. Okay, here we go. All right, so here's our charts. Let me get those going. Wow, it's amazing what you can do in 45 seconds. Okay, guys. I want to cover a couple of things extra on my show from 8 to 9 that I didn't get to, and we're just going to wait for Steve to come back on. We're going to go to break first, and we're going to come back and talk about a couple of stocks that have had earnings recently and kind of what the latest technicals are on those stocks and maybe how to get your arms around these animals. We'll be right back.
Do you know the 7 most critical factors that influence every decision you make and how not knowing these will jeopardize the health, the wealth, and the relationships you deserve? I'm Steve Rhodes, morning host at TFNN.com, and for the last quarter of a century, I've studied and used the secrets of human growth, the same formulas used by leaders of nations, billionaires and millionaires, and the most successful athletes on the planet. Would you like to break through any obstacle that gets in between you and the success you deserve? Would you like to turn fear into strength? If you could find a way to achieve, be fulfilled, and live a life of meaning, wouldn't you want to know the answer? I'll teach you the factors that control your state of mind and the drivers that impact every thought, emotion, behavior, and action we take in my new webinar, The Psychology of Trading. Join me for this 2-part online event where I'll unveil the secrets to human pattern recognition, because they're not what you think. And soon, you'll have the health, the wealth, and the relationships you deserve. Just go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on The Psychology of Trading to begin your journey now.
Trade with confidence and clarity while using the software that thousands of institutional traders rely on to make the best and most accurate decisions. Choose from 1,000 equities, currencies, and futures instruments utilizing the TAS architecture. As seen on Bloomberg terminals worldwide, the TAS Profile Scanner is a benchmark technical filtering system that thousands of traders rely on, and now you can too. For a limited time for TFNN subscribers only, we've reduced the price to just $97. That's over 75% off. John Logan hosted a special subscriber-only webinar in December, and you'll gain access to that archive as well, so you can learn exactly what the TAS Profile Scanner can do for you. Try this product out. No matter what you trade, the TAS Profile Scanner can help you make more informed trading decisions. There's no obligation to pay anything. Don't let this offer pass you by. Get your 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner today by signing up at TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
TigerTV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. TigerTV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Steve takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Hi, guys. Steve Rhodes has got a technical issue right now. I'm filling in for him. I'm John Logan. I'm the host from 8 to 9 every day. And let's just get right into it. Talked about before the break, we're going to look at some stocks that have been in the news and just look at them technically after some of the earnings announcements that have happened. And if you'll notice, walking behind me, that's my partner from Spain, Eddie. He's down in the Philippines with me now. He just flew in. He's going to be here for 3 weeks.
Hi, Mom.
And we're in here late at night doing some discovery, I guess. So we're going to take a look at AT&T really quick. We talked about, these weekly unfair lows, and we talked also about this action kind of crowding. And this is the type of thing you don't want to see from the short side. And we talked about, from the long side, you don't want to see it just kind of compressing into these unfair lows on AT&T. But we also talk about not being in the market before these earnings comes out and trading the reactions to the actions. So here's what happened. And if you're playing the short game before the earnings and through the earnings, you got killed. You got on a slow moving stock like AT&T, you would have got clipped for about $2. So that would have been painful. So this is a great example. We've broken through some things technically on the intermediate. Now what do you do? That being said, looking at AT&T, and I got a lot of emails about this, all we've done is get right back into the balanced area on weekly on the long term. So now we're trading about 34, pre-market, we're trading about 34.10. And right now to trade this thing either farther north or even use some areas to as resistance points, we have to have some new profiles on our longer term, on our intermediate term, which would be in this instance new supply. And what does that all mean? That means that we want to see where these new profiles are going to appear, and if they appear below price action, that's very bullish action, and it's very good for a continuation north. If they appear kind of surrounding this price action, we're in a balanced area, you're going to have some new support areas and some new breakout areas possibly. And if they appear above, then that's actually a very bearish tone situation that AT&T will have to come into. So right now we're if you take our advice, or not advice, suggestions, I guess, not being in the Wild Wild West before the earnings announcements like Kramer seems to put people into, and then just kind of doesn't seem to acknowledge that he did that afterwards when things go bad. We always say just kind of sit on the sidelines and let somebody else roll the dice, and that was a decent attitude to take. Let's take a look at Coca-Cola. This is another stock that, this is a great example. Stock getting a little bit of a pop here, and we talked about, there's nothing to hang on to up here. There's no new profiles. You can't just go in and buy this thing on the opening after the earnings. We talked about waiting patiently until 40.78 has, kind of the price is broken out, come back and retest. These are very powerful levels and buy points in this instance to start looking at Coca-Cola with, guess what? Stops down below in the intermediate below 40.78. So that's kind of the beauty of being patient, not rolling the dice, waiting to trade the reaction, not the action. And now you've got a decent high probability setup right before your eyes. Okay? Doesn't always work out like that, but now you've kind of gotten the high probability situation, which is come to you. Let the market come to you. Here's Caterpillar. Again, very similar situation. Earnings, boom. Runaway freight train, reverse totally. Now we talked about 83.99, 84. You have to wait for a pullback, breakout, come back, former resistance, now support. You got a very similar situation on Caterpillar. Let's just kind of go down the list of some of the usual suspects that announced. Let's take a look at Facebook. Remember, the S&Ps are continuing to kind of elevate north. This is Facebook. I mean, we're trading 81.70 some change right now. A lot of people, again, earnings-related situation, still kind of churning above weekly for highs. Long-term stops need to be below 79.27. But while this thing was doing its action the other day, we talked about some initial stops on the long side for Facebook, stingy stops around 83.5, and then kind of Custer's last stance on the intermediate around 81.93. Now you're waiting for a maximum buy point around 79.27. But again, looking at our scanner, I seem to have closed it down for some reason. We're going to pull that back up. We're going to access that right after the break here. Guys, we'll be right back. Hang in there.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Technomental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Technomental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
If you're like me, you see the world's emerging nations as a very real opportunity, as these countries and their economies are developing right before our eyes. And you can rest assured that Everbank has spotted this opportunity too. In fact, they just recently unveiled the new 5-year market-safe Future Economies CD. This is a CD that could really deliver, but you have only until May 7th to take advantage. Consider the facts. If the future economy's currencies beat the US dollar over the CD term, you'll get all of the upside. And should they lose? No worries. There's zero downside risk here, as you'll still get back 100% of your deposited principal. Intrigued yet? The May 7th funding deadline is quickly approaching, so hurry over to everbank.com/TFNN-CD for more information, including important product details and disclosures. Once again, that's everbank.com/TFNN-CD. Everbank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Who says you can't take it with you? TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or TigerTV streams. We say you can.
Each and every time that the dollar ticks higher, S&P wants higher price. Each and every time that the dollar is ticking lower, guess what? S&P wants lower price. Dollar, the metals, and the S&P are going tick for tick.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi guys, welcome back. I think the market's getting open here. A lot of the stocks are clearing and being able to print now. So let's take a look at our scanner. We're just making some changes here. You guys don't have access to this through TFNN yet. I think we're getting ready to release it. But as you can look at these dials up here, they're across the board on each exchange. We're putting all ETF breadths in here now. But as we look at the S&Ps, we talked earlier on my show about the breadth it's just kind of barely hanging in there positive on our intermediate, and sometimes the 60s and the 240s are flipping around. Here's where we're at this morning, opening on the S&Ps. We're kind of reversing. This is, not a key reversal of all times on the daily or weekly, but we just need to kind of look at this and see what's going on. We're just churning higher. I know this is something we've been talking about lately, and we've been passing on these moves up. I feel like, as we talked about on the initial show, that the leverage is really not there to just step in and have a decent risk reward scenario right now. So that's the way we're looking at the S&Ps. Here's the 240s. You're well above profiles here. Do we deserve to have another short-term profile come online? We might, and that would actually lend credence to we may have some relaxing moments here in the S&P, and we may have some new targets to hit, force at least support on the short term. Okay. So that's the situation on the S&Ps and NASDAQ. A little bit different story. That's a little bit more clear-cut, bullish situation, in my opinion. And the breadth situation on the NASDAQ is sympathetic with that. So we're going to look at this, and we're going to go down our NASDAQ. And as you can see, a lot of greens on the NASDAQ as we kind of just really profile our profiles, if you will, no pun intended, to see where the leverage is, where the inflection points are on the individual instruments. If you don't have a demo of this, we'll get you the C# desktop version. We call it TAS Profile Scanner Plus, that all TFNN subscribers deserve to have, in my opinion. So we're going to just go back to our exchanges here. Well, what this picture did, we got a lot of people, I got to click this button, I got to click that button, I got to do this. This kind of puts the indices or the ETFs right in your face, and you can go into the Nifty 50, click it, get the story. As you can see, this thing's been getting killed lately. You can also get a little bit of a paragraph on this, and a little bit of a story, what's going on with the inflection points while you're looking at the individual instruments. And as you drill into the individual instruments, you can get a long-term, intermediate term, and short-term view on those individual instruments. So NASDAQ, nothing to hang on to on the intermediate. Not a lot of reasons to waiting. Let's see. Did we lose connection to the CME? What is going on with the internet today? Steve Rhodes is having problems. I mean, there may be a major. I hope you guys are doing okay there if you got trades on, because this rarely happens. We've got everything on an Amazon server for this particular product, and we are not having any data come through. Okay, let me hack attack. I like it. I don't like it, Mike, but we're gonna have to. Let me see what's going on here. Yeah, we're dead in the water, Al. We have no charts. So what I'm going to do right now is just kind of go into, yeah, really. We're going to go back into the scanner. If you guys have never looked at this, since our quotes are down, and I don't know if this is a CME issue or maybe an Eastern United States trunk line issue. I kind of find that hard to believe, actually, with all the backup systems that are in place now these days. What these, if you guys are new to my show or new to Steve's show and you've never seen me before, what we do is we take just to do some definitions on some settings here, we take our breadth speedometer and charts. This is what they're based on. We can pull up any index that we've got set here, and we're adding ETFs. That's why you see unknown exchange down there. We're adding them today. We can go into the Shanghai. We can look at our speed dials. We can go into the Singapore. And what these speed dials are reflective of are, and I'm going to go back to our S&Ps because everybody's familiar with the S&Ps. We can look at the internals of the S&P 500 relative to our profiles and get some data on them. And the way we do market breadth, which I don't think anybody else in the nation does it this way. And now, this may be an Amazon problem. Michael, can you take a look at this? You want to go on Amazon too? Okay. This has got everything running on it, so. All right. Might be an Amazon problem. So, might not be the signal, it might not be a signal. So, as we look at these, our database is on Amazon too, so I can't pull up the charts to show you the definitions there. So what we're going to do is verbally talk about this. So what we do is we take the S&P 500, all the individual instruments, and we sum up on 4 different time frames where our levels are, our profiles are, those unfair highs, unfair lows, where price action okay, I hope we're seeing the scanner now. Where price action is currently real-time on real-time data relative to those profiles. So if you look at the S&P 500, let's just say that we're not having an Amazon breakdown right now. Last print on the database, in a very easy to use mathematical equation, basically the breadth is positive on our intermediate daily by rounded off about 14%. Now this has been really hovering from negative to in the single digits for the past couple of weeks on our daily, just really showing no direction as we drift higher. So what does that mean? That means that in a non-weighted fashion, we're summing up these S&P 500 stocks, and we're saying that, yeah, that's great. Tom, I think, is Tom O'Brien with us? Okay, maybe he's not on yet.
Hey, John.
Hey, Tom.
What's happening,
How are you?
man?
Oh man, we're having
great, man.
that's good to hear. We're having a little bit of a technical issue with Amazon right now, and I think Steve has had a total breakdown on his line in Florida there. So I don't know what's going on. Is there a major outage in the U.S. right now for any internet trunk lines?
Where Steve's area is, evidently there is. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So that's yeah. That's
okay.
Yeah. So hey, the dollar, the S&P is really there's no doubt that it's kind of interesting here because I've seen the clock speed on the 60s on the S&P haven't been that great. But what was intriguing those inflection points of the dollar get really interesting because
did you know?
When I was listening to you this morning and I was pulling them up simultaneously while I was watching you pull them up, and I was pulling them up because it's like when I'm looking at that dollar, I'm saying, okay, to me that dollar wants lower price, and we'll see how that shakes out. But so check this out again.
No, I'm actually with you on that. I mean, you heard me. I mean, I was like, it's kind of doing a sympathetic bounce right here. It's kind of, that's just what it does when it reaches those inflection points, but it's not really acting like it wants to get away from it. So what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, well, it's really close because, I'm long gold right now. And when I'm looking at that, I'm saying to myself, all you need is that break at 97 and you're in decent shape, right? Now, check this out. This and now I combine that this morning. When I'm looking at these bonds again, it's like, man, hold it. The bonds may want to test the highs again, but it looks like right now they want to go down into a lower swing point that they had some volume in them. So it's like, man, is this bond going to change? I mean, the last time I did this was about 3 weeks ago, and I had to close the position. But there's a different dynamic. It looks to me there's a different dynamic that's taking place right now, and we will know. We're going to know quickly. I mean, because the bottom line is that between the dollar and the bond. But if we put that together, it really gets intriguing. And then, so check this out, and I know you probably saw this article. It was a great article, folks, last night on Bloomberg. And what it was is because the European stocks are going up so dramatically, right, the amount of money that is getting changed into euros right now to buy European stocks is astronomical. I guess last week was $67 billion.
Yeah, I think Eddie was telling me about that article. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a good article, man. And I'm familiar with that to the tune because of basically just, I remember when people didn't think bonds were going higher, and I remember all those U.S. bonds getting made in Europe. And I looked at that a few years ago. I was saying to myself, man, hold it. They need U.S. dollars to buy U.S. bonds as they're floating them in Europe. And it's the same thing. I mean, it's crazy, but bottom line, Europe, if you buy, the DAX, you need euros. They're not dollars. Yeah. So
exactly, and I think that's the only thing holding it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? That's it, right? I know. Listen, man. Yeah. With all this different QE, there's it's not different. It's just that if you do follow that money, what money do they need to buy those markets? That's what it really comes down to.
Right. What's your thought on the Bund? I mean, that thing's. I mean, Bill Gross is saying it's or is it Bill Gross? Yeah, I think it is Bill Gross. He's saying it's the short of a lifetime. I mean, what's your thoughts on that one? Because I haven't figured that out yet.
You know what? I'm still, and I haven't either. And what I'm trying to, and I actually brought this up on the show on Thursday. I'm really trying to figure out. I still can't wrap my head around negative interest rates and that they're out for 8 years right now. I'm trying to really, get it. You know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, how does this happen? And I know how they make money on it because, what ends up happening, of course, if the negative rate is only 100%, it gets down to 10 100%. Great, the bonds go up in yield, just like same deal. You know what I mean? Up on price, down on yield.
Right.
But I'm having listen, I can't figure it out. Well, right now, my mind gets twisted, man. Just that whole thought.
Yeah, but what does it really say? This is not a kind of a timely trading statement, but what is it? I mean, and you've learned just as much as I have over the years. You can't make too much sense out of these things. You have to trade the technicals as much as you can, and the Bund's been going up, and I've been like, oh my God, I got to buy this again because we're pulling back to support. But what is it really saying? I mean, they're basically saying we're going to make it as painful as humanly possible for you to put money on the sidelines, put it to work, and it's still not working. You know what I mean? It's still not. Right. Their economy's still not. I mean, they got a little bit of wind in their sails a little bit here, but I mean, my God, I mean, you're talking negative interest rates and devaluing the euro to no man's land. God, I mean, how what does that say? It says that.
Well, this is a pretty sick deal. Okay, so what it says to me on a basis just as a thought process, right? And I'm getting this right from the U.S. too. Mm-hmm. Is that when these rates, all these rates that we talk about in the market, right? Well, people cannot get them. So what is happening when they talk about the rich and the super rich and the middle class, this is what is wiping out the middle class. Because what happens is this. So picture this. Is that I was just at a big real estate conference last Monday and Tuesday in Miami, right? And Blackstone was there. All the big players were there. So, and I went because I wanted to know how the fund was, our fund was set up, in the basis of where we were in the context of it. And I learned so much because this is what's going on. Even players, okay, so Blackstones of the world are getting money at basically about 100 basis points over LIBOR. So you're talking about 1.5 points maybe at the most, right? Mm-hmm. I can get money, we do these mortgage programs at 5%, 5.5%, okay? Everyone else, and I'm talking about even big players in the marketplace in the real estate business, really are almost paying 7 and 10% for money, okay? The person on the street, if they wanted to do something quick, they're paying for 10%. So when I start looking at that, I said, man, this is WAP. So now if we get into negative interest rates, what's really going on is that the only people that can get that types of money are monster players, and then the spread is like insane. And so banks are complaining that they're not making money. They're making money hand over fist. So what it's really doing is squeezing everyone else. You see what I'm saying? I was leaving there Tuesday. I'm saying to myself, man, this is sick. But every time that you talk cheap interest rates, well, guess what? You try to go get them, and you can't get them. But so it's a problem. I mean, it's a larger control problem, I think.
I hear you loud and clear. I listen. Thanks for calling. We got to go to break. If you can hang around, that's great. If you can't,
man.
I understand.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Steve. Appreciate it.
Great.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor, Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Do you know the 7 most critical factors that influence every decision you make, and how not knowing these will jeopardize the health, the wealth, and the relationships you deserve? I'm Steve Rhodes, morning host of TFNN.com, and for the last quarter of a century, I've studied and used the secrets of human growth, the same formulas used by leaders of nations, billionaires and millionaires, and the most successful athletes on the planet. Would you like to break through any obstacle that gets in between you and the success you deserve? Would you like to turn fear into strength? If you could find a way to achieve, be fulfilled, and live a life of meaning, wouldn't you want to know the answer? I'll teach you the factors that control your state of mind and the drivers that impact every thought, emotion, behavior, and action we take in my new webinar, The Psychology of Trading. Join me for this 2-part online event where I'll unveil the secrets to human pattern recognition, because they're not what you think. And soon, you'll have the health, the wealth, and the relationships you deserve. Just go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on The Psychology of Trading to begin your journey now.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Basil Chapman has just announced 2 live workshops that he'll be hosting April 27th and May 5th that only subscribers to his opening call will gain access to. On April 27th, Basil will host a 45-minute live online workshop, The Essentials of the Chapman Wave, where he'll teach the basics of the Chapman Wave notation that Basil created and uses daily in his trading and newsletter recommendations. On May 5th, Basil will host a second 45-minute workshop where this time he'll revisit the 1929 market comparison webinar and provide his attendees with an updated take on the socio-economic trends Basil has spotted currently taking place. If you're an opening call subscriber already, then your seat is already reserved. If not, then sign up for a 30-day free trial to the opening call today. You get a month of Basil's daily newsletter, The Opening Call, along with 2 live workshops coming up. Don't miss out on this offer. Sign up for Basil Chapman's Opening Call newsletter today on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Steve Rhodes as he teaches techniques on technical analysis using pattern recognition, celestial charting, Fibonacci, and other tools. The Trader's Edge, next on TFNN.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to the show. Steve Rhodes is finally back up. I think he's going to be back with us, which is great, on the next hour. So please stay tuned. You won't have to listen to me. You'll have Steve back, which is always a good thing. Our Amazon services, where we've got actually our charts hosted, is down for some reason right now. So maybe there's more of an issue than we think. And somebody's saying Hillary's internet kill switch is being tested. I might have to go along with that. What I did with our scanner, because this scanner really operates outside of those AWS services, we write to a kind of a web HTTPS service, and then the desktop version that you would have, and got to get a TFNN to get this in your hands. It's a great product. It gives you a lot of cool new information on the automated text. It kind of tells the story for you on the breadth situation on multiple exchanges and individual instruments. Here's Cummings prices. It tells a great story. But you're grabbing this from a web service, so that's outside of Amazon. So that's why this is running right now. So anyway, what I did is I did a sort. Market continues to drift higher. I did a below the box sort, below the profile stocks that are not cooperating on an intermediate basis. And guess what? We've got the same usual suspects here: FDX, DR Horton, DHI, CME Group, Costco, Applied Materials, AMAT. This has just been getting just flambéed. And now we're right across the board here, which is, what does that mean? That means we're below profiles on the weekly, the daily, the 240 and the 60. And what I want to do is pull up our landscape view. That's price, the yellow level, and these are our profiles on the weekly, daily, 240 and 60. And what does this mean? This means that it's not on sale, and it's only on sale when one of these profiles starts appearing down below, and you may be able to take some shots, but you ain't got any shots right now. Guys, see what time it is. We're going to go to our next break. I don't know if we're ending the show right now, but if we are, we'll pick it back up tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Steve Rhodes is next. Hang around.